It's that time of the day where we like to say it's score predictions time. It's game week 5. We have the Friday fixtures and we have the Saturday fixtures. So without no further ado, let's see how we did last week. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats because it's the best week so far. We got 10 points. Come on! Today we have a special guest, James Hoppin, aka Barnet with my crown, absolute legend. Make sure to go and check his channel if you haven't already. Up the bees. In the first game, one of two Friday fixtures, we have Aldershot versus Oldham away at Boundary Park. Aldershot coming off the back of a 1-0 defeat to Bromley, where we played amazing, to be honest. I mean, I've never seen us have so many chances, so much of the ball, and still not be able to find the back of the net. It was absolutely gutting, but a good performance going into this match. Oldham coming off the back of back-to-back defeats, only scoring 4 goals this season, averaging 1 goal per game. It's not the greatest for them. This is going to be a close one, so my score prediction for this match today, it's going to be a stalemate. Aldershot 1, Oldham 1. Mr. Barnet, over to you.
Thanks for having me on. I'm delighted to do this for you. Predictions for game week 5. Oldham v Aldershot, your team. Here we go. You started all right, to be fair. Got the win a couple of weeks ago, which has got you off the mark. Oldham, on the other hand, you'd expect them to be good this season just based on their history and the signings they've made. They've not started too well. You know, every team that comes down needs time to adjust. But I do think home advantage is in their favour on this occasion and they will get the win. Go Oldham 2, Aldershot 1.
And in the other Friday fixture, we have Chesterfield versus Barnet. It's your team, and I just got to say how good of a start Barnet have had this season. They're still top of the table. Who would have thought going into this match that Chesterfield are lower than Barnet in the table? That's not me. Barnet still top of the league after a 2-0 victory against Woking. Chesterfield coming off the back of a 2-2 draw away at Notts County. They were 2-0 up, but they let that lead slip. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Macaulay Langstaff. Well, he's going to be looking to build on that, but that's for the next time. Based on the table, based on the form so far this season, it's going to be an absolute cracker. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled for this one. But I think Chesterfield just have too much quality. I think they will edge it, and it is at Chesterfield. So my score prediction is Chesterfield 2, Barnet 1. Over to you.
Chesterfield Barnet. Obviously, we've scored 2 goals in every game so far. Barnet, it's sitting pretty at the top of the league. But Chesterfield away, obviously, it's one of the hardest games in the league. And I think this one might be a step too far for us. I'm going to go Chesterfield 3, Barnet 2. We'll give them a game, but I think they might just have too much for us, unfortunately.
We swiftly move over to the Saturday games, and the first one is Boreham Wood versus Altrincham. And Boreham Wood, well, they're off the back of a victory. An early goal by Jamal Fifield meant that Boreham Wood were able to take down the almighty Torquay 1-0. It was a tight one, that's what she said, but it was a good one. Altrincham secured their 3rd draw in 4 games after getting a 91st minute equaliser against Yeovil. Jammy bastards! This game is a very close one to call, however I do think, as I said in the last video, that Boreham Wood just have that slight bit of extra quality. They will take down Altrincham. Boreham Wood 1, Altrincham 0. Barnet with my man, over to you.
Next up, we've got Boreham Wood v Altrincham. It's an interesting one. Boreham Wood seem to be conceding a lot more goals than they have been the last couple of seasons. I have them in the playoff. I think they've strengthened really well. Altrincham just gone professional. They've not started too well. I think they're going to improve. I think they're going to be a good side this season. I'm going to put this as a draw. Boreham Wood 1, Altrincham 1.
Next up, we have Bromley versus Scunny, and I would just like to say, Bromley, I hate you. Bromley coming off the back of a 1-0 victory against the Shots at the Ebb Stadium. Gutting from our perspective, but from a Bromley perspective, they managed to get over the line. They do what they needed to do. Some brilliant saves from the goalkeeper. He was the man in the match by far. He made about 4 or 5 brilliant stops. On another day, Aldershot scored 4, but that's a story for another day. Scunthorpe, however, were 3-0 up against Sully Hole and lost 4-3, making that 3 defeats in a row. Oh God, that's horrible. And when it rains, it pours. I think Bromley are going to win again. My score prediction for this match is Bromley 2, Scunthorpe 1. And that's 4 losses in a row for them. I'm so sorry. He supports Barnet and has a fresh Barnet. Over to you, James.
Next up, we've got Bromley against Scunthorpe. Now, Scunthorpe, well, it's been a disaster so far, really, hasn't it? They haven't got going in the league. And it was sort of expected with the lack of signings they made, having come down with so little points, losing 8-0 on the last game of the season last year. It doesn't look good for them at all, and I'm going to back Bromley on this occasion as well. They're going to go and win 3-0 against Scunthorpe on Saturday.
In the next game, we have Eastleigh versus Southend, and both teams coming off the back of victories. Southend beating Oldham 1-0 and Eastleigh just squeezing past York 1-0 as well. Both teams don't score many goals this season, so I think this game is going to be a tight one. However, it's going to be a good one. I think both teams are just too close to call, so my score prediction for this match is going to be a 1-1 draw. James, what have you got to say for yourself?
Next up, we've got Eastleigh v Southend. Eastleigh have started the season really, really well. I think they've started much better than they'd expected, to be honest. Southend, on the other hand, not started well at all. There's only been 4 goals in the 4 games they've played in, 2-4, 2 against. Really boring side at the moment. And I'm going to go again. I'm going to go Eastleigh 1, Southend 1.
Next up, we have the Shaman versus Notts County, and this should be an easy one to call. However, every time I say that, I get it completely wrong. Halifax is still yet to score this season after a 1-0 defeat to Wilston, and Notts County securing a 2-2 draw after being 2-0 down to Chesterfield. They let leads slip a lot. As Chesterfield, by the way, for those that didn't get it. I wouldn't go walking your dog in Chesterfield with how slippery the leads are. Macaulay Langstaff at the double against Chesterfield means he will be up and firing even more than he already would have been. He's got a bit of confidence in himself, so my score prediction for this match is Notts County 2, Halifax 0, and yes, still not a goal. Let's hope James gets his predictions right with the games.
Next up, we've got Halifax v Notts County. Now, Halifax have started absolutely shocking. 1 point from their opening 4 games. We beat them first game of the season. They looked appalling. Notts County, they've not had the best of starts. They remain unbeaten, but they've drawn 3 and 1-1. I think they're going to steamroll Halifax. We're going to go Halifax 0, Notts County 3.
Next up, we have Gateshead versus Wilston, and Wilston managing to get a nice 1-0 victory against the Showmen, squeezing past them, and Shaman, well, as I previously mentioned, they just can't score. Wilston faced Gateshead, who have still yet to be defeated at home this season, drawing against Notts County and Barnet, so this should be a good one. Although Gateshead are coming off the back of a 2-1 defeat to Dorking. As I previously mentioned, Gateshead are a force at home. A very good side indeed, so my score prediction for this match is going to continue in the same way that it's been going. It's going to be a draw. 1-1.
Gateshead v Wilston. Now, Wilston, what a start to the season they've had. They made some good signings in the summer, and they sit second in the league just behind us at the moment. Gateshead, they've not started so well, but that's if you look at the results. If you look at their performances, they're scoring goals. They could have easily beaten us, but we ended up drawing 2-2. Dagenham as well, they were 2-0 up and drew 2-2. And they won 21 of their home games last season, coming up from National League North, and I think they're going to get the win on Saturday. Gateshead 3, Wilston 2.
Following on from that, we have Maidenhead at home versus York. Oh god, this is going to be a bad one. The one time I actually backed Maidenhead to win, they bloody lose. For God's sake. York also coming off the back of a defeat to Eastleigh, meaning that both teams are in the mud. Oh god, I think, you know what, screw this. My score prediction, I can't stand Maidenhead now. They're just the bloody bane of my life. I'm going to go York 1-0.
Next up, Maidenhead v York. Now, York, I thought would start the season a lot better than they have, losing last week at home to Eastleigh. Maidenhead have started better than I thought. I thought they'd be rock bottom. But I'm going to put this as a draw just based on the starts of both teams. I'm going to go Maidenhead 1, York 1.
In their next game, we have Maidstone versus Torquay. And what's really interesting about this fixture is going into this game, both teams have the exact same fixtures. No, not fixtures. Bloody, what's the word? Record. They have the same record. The record being draw, win, loss, and a loss, meaning both teams are on back-to-back defeats going into this game. Surely, there's not many goals. Based on all the facts provided, I'm going to put it as another stalemate. Maidstone 1, Torquay 1.
We have Maidstone v Torquay, both of them on 4 points, having won 1, drawn 1 and lost 2. Maidstone having come up from the National League South. Torquay having a bit of a rough season last season, just sitting in the mid-table. I think they'll get the win on Saturday. They've not started too well, but I think they're starting to gel now, and I think they'll do well. Maidstone 1, Torquay 2.
Next up, we have the best game of the weekend. It's Sully Hole versus Dorking, and wow. Let's just start by talking about Sully Hole, who are 3-0 down and won 4-3. I mean, that just shows such character and determination in the squad. Fair play, and that's why they're going to be a team that's going to be up there this season. Dorking on the back of a victory against Gateshead, beating them 2-1, meaning that both teams are off the back of back-to-back victories. Oh, it's going to be a cracker. Sully Hole was still undefeated this season, so for them it's going to be a party cracker. My score prediction for this match, it's going to be Sully Hole 2, Dorking 1, and a partridge in a pear tree. What is wrong with me?
Probably the pick of Saturday's games, we've got Sully Hole v Dorking. Sully Hole, obviously last season's playoff runners-up, and Dorking, who came up from the National League South. Now, every game Dorking have been involved in this season has been eventful and has been goals. And I can't see anything different, especially given Sully Hall's 4-3 victory last week. So I'm going to be brave and go over draw on this, but I'm going to go Sully Hall 2, Dorking 2.
In the penultimate game of the day and the last 3 o'clock kickoff, we have Yeovil versus Daggers. Oh boy. Out of the 8 games that both teams have played this season, there's been 1 victory. And that was Dagenham's last game against Maidstone. Maidenhead. Oh. To be fair to Yeovil, they were very unlucky not to get their first 3 points of the season after Altrincham scored a 91st minute equaliser. It's unbelievable, Jeff. It is going to be a very, very, very tight one. But I think Dagenham have got the quality to edge it. My score prediction is Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Yeovil 0.
We've got Yeovil v Dagenham. Yeovil created hundreds of chances against us and couldn't put them away. Dagenham not had the greatest start to the season either, but I think this one might go in Yeovil's favour. I just saw from the game against us they created so many chances that they just can't keep missing them. I'm going to go Yeovil 2, Dagenham 0.
And the last game of the weekend, we have Wrexham versus Woking. It's the W Derby. Wrexham coming off the back of a 5-0 victory against Maidstone. I mean, talk about responding to being 2-0 down. No, not 2-0 down, losing 2-0. I can't get my words out. They're going to thump bloody Maidstone 5-0. Paul Mullen hat-trick. Woking also coming off the back of a 2-0 defeat to the almighty Barnet. James, it's your team. But, yeah, Woking not looking very good coming into this fixture. And, I mean, Wrexham's quality, they're 1080p Ultra HD right now. That's 4K. But anyway, my point still stands. Wrexham are bloody unbelievable. Art the documentary. To put this game plainly, it's like 4K versus 480p. There's only one winner. Wrexham 3, Woking 0. Boo the scum. And for the last time today, James, what is your score prediction, my friend?
V Wrexham. Now, I think Wrexham, obviously, they had a dodgy start to the season. There was calls for Parkinson to go. But then they've gone and won 5-0 the other day against Maidstone. And I think that's going to turn their season around now. Woking, on the other hand, they haven't started too well. And I think they'll be disappointed with the signings they've made because they should be doing a lot better than they are. They were poor against us last week, and I think they're going to lose again. I'm going to go Woking 1, Wrexham 3. Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. Good luck to Aldershot at the weekend against Oldham, and hopefully Barnet get a result. I know I predicted us to lose, but I'll take a point and a win. Keep us top of the league. I'll take it. We've had a good start. Let's hope it continues. Have a good week.
And that, my beautiful people, is all she wrote. That is the video done for today. What a week. I mean, I got 10 points last time, predicting 5 correct wins. No scorelines predicted, dead on. But yeah, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Go and check out Barnet with my gran if you haven't already. It's some banging videos, brilliant content. But until next time, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you all later. Ba, 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 ba.